Alright, so this is the review for our probability unit that we will be having a test over tomorrow. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over number 1. The table shows the number of bags of different flavors of potato chips on a store shelf. A customer will randomly select one bag of the potato chips from the shelf. Which statement about the flavor of potato chips chosen is best supported by the information on the table? The flavor is least likely to be plain. So that means if I look at plain, it should be the smallest number. So F is wrong because the least likely to be chosen would be actually ranch and not plain. Okay, the flavor is twice as likely to be jalapeno as ranch. So I look at jalapeno and I have to think, let me look at ranch. What's 8 times 2? That's 16. That obviously doesn't match the 18, so G is wrong. The flavor is equally likely to be plain, jalapeno, ranch, or cheese. So equally likely means that they have to be the same number. And we can see 12, 18, 8, and 20 are not the same number. So that is wrong. The flavor, so let's see why J is right. The flavor is more than twice as likely to be cheese as it is to be ranch. So if I do 8 times 2, the 8 is from the ranch, that's 16. Is 20 more than 16? It is, so J is correct. They're trying to trick you with that more than. They're thinking that you're not going to read that part, but make sure you read that. That's really important. The more than tells me that it has to be bigger than twice, not just twice. All right, number 2. A bag of M&Ms contains 12 red marbles, or 12 red M&Ms, 6 blue M&Ms, 8 green M&Ms, and 14 brown M&Ms. If one M&M will be drawn from the bag, what is the probability that it will be green or brown? So remember, when we see that word or, we know we're adding green and brown. But first, we have to find the total amount of M&Ms that are in this bag. So we need to add up the 12, the 6, the 8, and then the 14. So when I add all those 4 numbers up, we should get a total of 40. So out of 40, how many are green or brown? So green or brown, we would add 14 plus 8, which would be 22. Remember, you should always try to simplify. So let's go ahead and simplify by 2. That gets us 11 over 20. I'm going to go ahead and since they want it as a percent, I'm going to go ahead and do top in, bottom out. 20 can go into 110 5 times. That's 100. I subtract to get 10. I add a 0, bring it down. 20 can go into 100 another 5 times. So now I'm at 55 hundredths, but I move it over twice. So my answer is 55%. Okay. Let's go ahead and go on to number 3. Jacob has the following coins in his pocket: 2 pennies, 7 quarters, 11 dimes, 5 nickels. Jacob randomly selects one coin from his pocket and will not put it back. Then selects another coin from his pocket. What is the probability that he will choose a quarter and then a nickel? So keyword here is will not put it back. So that means our total the second time has to go down. Remember, if it's not being replaced, if it's being eaten, if it's not being put back, that means your total is changing. So once again, we have to add up our total. So 2 plus 7 plus 11 plus 5 is going to get us 25. So that means there's 25 when I start times. But when I don't put it back, it's going to be 24. Since, again, it's not being put back into the total. So now how many quarters are there? There are 7. How many nickels are there? There are 5. So 7 times 5 is 35. I'm going to go ahead and do 25 times 24. 4 times 5 is 20, carry the 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2, that's 10. Add a 0. 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. We add that to get 600. So now I have 35 over 600. Obviously, that's not our answer because we have to always simplify. So I'm going to simplify by 5, which should get us 7 over 120, which is D. All right, on to number 4. Miss Andrade has 9 red, 6 purple, and 5 blue pens. What is the likely that John, what is it? I'm sure it means, what is the likelihood that Miss Andrade will draw each different color pen? Write the probability for each item. So that was a typo. So we're going to find the probability for each item. So once again, we have to add up all of our pens so we can find the total probability. So out of all these is 20. So I'm automatically just going to put a 20 as my denominator. And then red is 9. I can't simplify 9 and 20. Purple is 6. I can simplify, so I am going to simplify. We get 3 over 10. And then 5 over 20. I'm going to simplify. Should get 1/4. All right. Let's go on to the next one. At an ice cream shop, there are 3 ice cream flavors, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, and 2 toppings, sprinkles, and peanuts. What is the sample space for choosing 1 flavor and 1 topping? So 1 flavor, so the flavors are chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. And when you choose when you choose chocolate, you can either have sprinkles and peanuts. When you choose vanilla, you can also get sprinkles and peanuts. Same thing, strawberry is sprinkles and peanuts. So remember, that's how we make a sample space. We list out every possible outcome that could happen. So if I count how many, I know this is not what the question was asking, but if I count the total amount of outcomes as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this was 6 total possible combinations. I'm going to write combos. And I know that's not what the question was asking, but it is going to help us solve the problem a lot better. So make sure that you're writing out the total possible combinations. Number 6, a student survey is being conducted. The first 7 out of 25 students voted to do clubs every week. What is the total probability that next week's vote will be clubs every week? So 7 out of 25. 7 out of 25. And remember, when it's talking, this is a prediction problem. So we're trying to predict what is going to happen. And it's at percent. So I'm going to write 100. And then the percent goes here. How can I get from 25 to 100? Well, that's times 4. So now we're going to do 7 times 4. Because if I times 4 on the bottom, I have to do it on top. So 7 times 4 is 28. So we can predict that 28% of the votes will want clubs every week. All right, number 7. Ricardo rolls a dice 150 times. How many times can he predict it will land on a 2 or a 3? So if we have a dice, remember it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 2 or a 3, so 2 out of 6 times. And it's going to predict, so again, prediction means proportion. So 150. Now we're going to have to simplify though. So this becomes a 1, this becomes a 3. So now I have to find a relationship, or you can do bat and ball, but I'm going to find a relationship times 50 times 50. So 1 times 50 is 50. All right, last one. Henry's candy jar has the following pieces of candy in it: 6 Snickers, 10 Reese's, 2 Twix, 5 Milky Ways, and 7 Skittle Packs. What's the probability he will not pick a Reese's? So this is, remember, is a compliment when it's not going to be picking. So we're going to go ahead and, again, we're going to add up 6 and 10 and 2, 5, and 7. We're going to add all those numbers up, and you should get 30. So that our total here was 30. And not Reese's, so from 30, I'm going to subtract the 10. So 30 minus 10 is 20. So 20 over 30, that can be simplified by 10. And we get 2 over 3. So that is B. All right, remember, like always, if you need to rewatch the video, do so as many times as you need, so that way you are successful on tomorrow's test.